Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Diane Dobson Barton. This all started with a photograph that my kids sent me of my grandson. I did a quick little sketch in my sketchbook. Then I did it on the canvas in preparation for a painting. If there's any footage in here that is vertical, I can only assume that it was shot that way because I was thinking of making it into a short. That was the only footage that I got in those instances, so I went ahead and used it here. This was all shot over the course of several weeks, so I hope you enjoy watching the process. I'm going to get started working on this again tonight. What I've done up to this point is I have a reference image of this child and the snake, and I've omitted the background, and there's someone else in the photo, the reference photo. This is a commercial canvas, and it is, I think, 16 or 18 by 24 maybe. That's awful. I'm not really sure. But anyway, what I did was I put on 2 layers of just regular old white gesso, nothing special about it. And then I drew out the image that I'm going to use, and I drew it out with charcoal. Then what I did was I sprayed it with fixative, and I only sprayed it once, 1 layer of fixative, and then I went over it with clear gesso, and I didn't fix it enough, and it did cause the charcoal to kind of smear, and I lost some of the shapes of things, so I went back in and I put them on again, just for my own likes and dislikes. And then I fixed it again, and this time I did it a little heavier, let it dry, and then I put another coat of just clear gesso on top of it. My goal is to just stop every once in a while and catch you up on what's going on. That way I'm not worried about focus on the camera or anything. I'll just stop what I'm doing, catch you up on what's happening, and then proceed. So I've got gloves on my hands. This is a ultramarine and a phthalo mixture mixed with burnt umber, I believe. Yeah, I had to find it. I'm using Holbein paints, a mixture of Holbein paints and Gamblins. Some Daler and Rowney. Just, I'm going by colors instead of by brands. I think there's some Brumbacher's in here. But anyway, this is probably going to be a background. This is a yellow, ochre, and white, which looks like I need to lighten up a little bit more. It looks more yellow on camera than it does on the palette. It looks more peachy on the palette. These are just some basic flesh tones I did for him. He's very fair skinned. This is the blow up. The glasses, I tried in my naivete. I tried to use cadmium red. It would not give me the right color. I mixed a little yellow with it. It would not give me the right color. I tried alizarin. Again, same thing. It didn't work. Then I pulled out some magenta. I'm sorry. It's not magenta. It's rose madder quinacridone. I pulled out some of this, and it's pretty darn close. It's a lighter, on the lighter shade there, but it wouldn't take much to go up a notch to get the dark areas if I wanted to. I want to keep this really loose. I know this looks tight because of the drawing, but I did the drawing this way so I could go looser. So I'm hoping to get just the basics down tonight, and then I can come back to it tomorrow. If I'm lucky, this poppy seed oil will help the paint even stay wet overnight, and it'll be just the same as if I had just stepped away from the canvas. So that's the plan, and I've got a couple of brushes here, and I'm getting ready to go at it. I will catch base with you after a bit. It's a day or two later, and I know this is just like barely the first pass, but I'm considering just doing a wash over the whole thing, because I'm already using too small of brushes, and I wanted to keep it loose, and it's already going the other direction. That may be what you see next, is I'll just do like a burnt sienna or something, wash over the whole thing and start painting it from there. It's like I need to forget that the drawing's there, but still have it to rely on, if that makes sense. But this isn't working. The background's the wrong color. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I had in my head. My husband thought this, the shirt and all, was the actual color. He didn't realize that this was all charcoal, and I haven't given up on it at all. It's just one of those points where I need to figure out the direction I need to take. I also need to put the paint thicker on the surface. If you can see, it's also still wet. And then do it more like an alla prima. So that's where I'm at. And so it begins. I've taken just a wash of burnt umber, and I need to work quickly because the wash will dry on me, and I don't want it to do that. I want to pull out the light areas while I can. So I will see you at a later point. Now most of the underdrawing is covered up, and I used a sap green just mixed with burnt umber for the dark areas on his shirt, and added some white for the light areas. This right here is a white that I added before, and I'm just leaving it until I can paint over it with the skin tone. I know what color I want the background. This isn't it, but I'm just marking it out so that the edges of the flesh are not real sharp. And I think I'm going to start, I know I'm going to start working on his face first, face and hands, and then I'll get the rest of it. Right now, this is what my palette looks like. And I'm getting ready to put out some more white, some crimson, and some yellow ochre. This is editing Diane. I started applying the paint probably too thin. I think my first big mistake was using a detailed drawing like I did, because I wanted it to be really loose. And you'll see here I'm using a small brush. I should have started with a larger brush and ended with maybe one close to this size if I wanted detail. But I was determined to make it work, so I kept working on it. In hindsight, I should have used much thicker paint, at least to make it a little juicier like I wanted it to be. But instead, I feel like I just played it safe. So this is where I left it the other day. I've started working on the second layer on the hands, and I did another layer on the face and part of the snake. I still need to do the second layer on this and probably part of the shirt. I kind of like these rough areas down here, so I may I'm thinking of just leaving those there and having this up here be tight and the snake tight and then gets loose. I like this texture in here that came in, and those bits of bluish gray showing on the edge. That's where it is right now. Working on this today, and I can't decide if it's done. I don't know. This has a little bit of a yellow tint to it compared to this, and that bothers me. And this right in here looks wrong, like I need to do something. The shirt doesn't look too bad. I like some of the brush strokes in it. The snake, I don't want to put too many details because his face doesn't have much more than what's on that part. That's what my palette looks like. I'm not sure. I may just need to walk away for a little bit, come back. Okay, I made a few changes in the background. I have been pondering it, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and call it done. If I see anything that I feel like I want to change later, there's nothing saying that I can't. But I like this looseness down here, like I've said before. And I don't want to work it too tight. So I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to go ahead and sign it and set it to the side and call it good. Call it done. This is Editing Diane again. I don't know how successful I would consider this painting. The subject matter means a lot to me, but I don't know if the painting quality is what I was striving for. I guess time will tell. Going forward, I want to have my paintings be a lot juicier and much more expressive. And in order to do that, I need to start loose if I want to end loose. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate it if you would give it a like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye all. Take care and happy creating.